I represent predominantly pedestrians, children, cyclists and motorcyclists. But obviously we've got drivers and passengers in motor vehicles or passengers on buses. In terms of, obviously mostly it's human error, so negligence is what we're talking about when we're bringing a claim for personal injury. Usually someone has been injured or suffered injury as a result of in the road traffic accident context, a driver's negligence. If you have suffered an injury as a result of someone else's negligence, you are entitled to bring a claim for those injuries, treatment, any loss of earnings, or any damaged clothing, etc., etc. So essentially that is the criteria. If you suffer loss or injury as a result of someone else's negligence, you can bring a claim. So driver negligence can be something as simple as running a red light, not leaving enough stopping distance, failing to stop at a junction, entering a roundabout when it's unsafe to do so. They're your common types of negligence that you see on a day-to-day basis, probably. Well, the type of things that you can claim compensation for are obviously your injuries, but on top of that, and sometimes more importantly to people, it's the treatments, any surgery that may be required, obviously damage. So, for example, damage to your vehicle, damage to your bicycle, motorcycle, damaged clothing. Another big one is loss of earnings. So if you can't go to work as a result of these injuries for one reason or another, you can claim back those losses from the defendant and their insurance company. In terms of evidence, if you are involved in an accident and you are still at the scene, most importantly, you want to try and obtain the details of the negligent party and their insurance company. Obviously, if they're in a vehicle, the registration number, if they're on a motorcycle, the registration number. I'd always advise people to take images from the scene. That's sometimes one of the biggest regrets from claimants, that they didn't take images, only if it's safe to do so, of course. And then, if it's safe to leave the scene and go home, that's absolutely fine. Obviously, with more serious accidents, the police may be involved. The police should give you a crime reference number or a collision reference number. And obviously, if an ambulance, if it's that serious where an ambulance needs to come and take you away to hospital, you should be able to obtain those records at a later date that we can use as evidence for any potential claim. You've got 3 years from the date of the collision to make a claim for your injuries if you're an adult. If you're a minor, you have 3 years from your 18th birthday, which is essentially until you're 21. Yes, you can make a claim on a no-win, no-fee basis. Technically, they're called conditional fee agreements. Most, if not all, of our clients are on a no-win, no-fee agreement, and essentially what that means is you won't pay us any money, and upon the conclusion of the claim, we will recover those legal fees back from the defendant or their insurance company. However, we do take a deduction of the claimant's damages, which is set at a maximum of 25%. So the whiplash reforms were introduced on the 31st of May 2021, and they altered the way a claimant can claim for whiplash as a result of a road traffic accident where the claimant was the driver or a passenger in a motor vehicle. And essentially what happened was that the Civil Liability Act 2018 prescribed a fixed tariff for those whiplash injuries, limiting the amount a claimant can claim for a neck, back or shoulder injury.